talk about the keys of well-being. The first key to well-being is connection. So I'm just wondering, how would you rate yourself in the form of connection? What is happening for you in your relationships? How's that going for you? I would bet to say a lot of us are starting over, or actually having our second youth, or really just beginning the first chapter of a new book in our lives. And I want to celebrate with you. If that's you, if this is resonating with you today, I just want to celebrate with you, because it's freaking hard to start fresh and leave the rest behind. Anybody that's gone through addiction, or anybody that's gone through major healing, or anyone that's gone through like a major metamorphosis like what we're going through right now, you know that, sorry, I just got scared by a leaf. That's what happens. PTSD, you have some anxiety. Anyway, I'm in a little bit of an interesting area of Miami, a place that I don't normally hang out, but I'm here touring around, checking out different things, going with the flow, and getting scared by a leaf. So welcome. Thanks for joining me in this experience. Anyway, I'm tougher than that, but this is fun. It's okay to go with the flow and be who you are. You don't have to pretend anymore. That's the cool part. We don't have to pretend we're strong. We don't have to pretend that we're perfect and that everything's right. And I would say that, I don't even know if that's on this list, but I just want to say that this happened for a reason, and the angels do little weird stuff, and God's here with us, showing us that the true key to well-being is to be yourself authentically and in every way. Don't let this opportunity slip by to get to know you, and to be okay with being exactly who you are, with the noise, with the distraction, with the imperfections, with all that's happening. Just be with all that's happening for you and with you and to you, because everything is really happening for us. It's just all how we look at it. So jumping back in, number one, well-being. Let's be ourselves, okay? We do not have to pretend to be anyone else, okay? I don't care how bad you've been hurt. I don't care how much this time is painful. And honestly, if it is painful, it's the best way to jump into authenticity. You know what? You don't have anything to lose but the things that weren't working, that are based on this old pattern of believing, this old fixing, people pleasing, trying to be what's expected of you instead of truly being you. So our first key to well-being today is to be authentically yourself, no matter what that takes and no matter how hard it is. Be yourself, don't be afraid, and you know what? Show up today just as you are. So the first key to well-being is connection. How connected are you? How do you feel in these connections? How do you feel in these relationships? What's happening for you in your relationships? Are you satisfied, or are you settling? Whew, that's a big one. Let's not just scan past it and jump forward and pretend like that is not the biggest one yet. It's okay to not be satisfied in the relationships that you're in. It's okay to recognize that there's been abuse, manipulation. It's okay to recognize that there's just not alignment, okay? I don't feel great around you. And I think that it would be better for me to be alone in that space until I can find people that are in alignment with me. That's okay. It's okay for you. I want to tell you, this doesn't make you bad. This doesn't make the manipulative people right. And this does not mean anything other than you value yourself enough to say, I deserve exactly what I'm looking for. I have one life to live. It is very finite in time. It is extremely finite in energy. And I'm going to attract exactly what I know is right for me. And I'm not going to stop until I get it. Why should we sacrifice and settle repeatedly? I think we have a whole last few chapters or books on how that went. And it did not go the way I wanted it to go. So I'm going to say, and I am going to encourage you through my own experience, that as soon as I stood up and said, you know what, I'm more valuable than this, I'm worthy, and I absolutely know what I want, and I'm going to make space for that, like, I started having great people show up in my life And it was easier and easier for me to say, you know what, you don't want to hear what I think. You don't care about my feelings. You're showing signs of action being missing and words being present. Like, no. And if you're not communicating, it's over immediately. Words are the minimum. Actions matching words. Like my old leader used to say, a friend of mine, your audio has to match your video, okay? And I don't know how that saying escaped me because it's so true. If your audio is not matching your video, like, what are we doing here? We're wasting our time. So just remember that. Actions need to match the words. Words are fleeting and they're missing, and we can't live in our relationship on faith. We have got to be ambassadors of healing. We have got to be people of our word and of substance. Otherwise, it just ends in really bitter and exhausting pain and failure, at least for one person in the relationship, and sometimes for both. And hopefully those people that are doing that are awakening to their true ability to be honest and be okay with everyone having their own experience instead of just one person having to be happy in the experience. Anyway, our next one, after connection and making sure that we're happy in our experience, being honest with ourselves, is kindness. I've always had a lifelong mantra that I will be kind to myself and others so that my life can be an example of God's grace, kindness, and abundance. And it's just stayed with me. That's my heart. That's where I live truly in my soul. And I just want that for you, and I want that for me and for everyone to truly believe that if we're kind and loving and generous, that those things return to us. Nothing we ever do, nothing we give just goes emptily into outer space. Even if it doesn't come back from the person that we're giving it to, it comes back to us. This is what I truly, truly believe, and I've watched it throughout my life. Pardon me, I'm getting over traveling and having a little cold here, so but I'm still here, I'm still showing up, I'm still with you, I'm still creating, and I'm still enjoying my life, even through the suffering, through the triumphs and all the trials. I'm here showing up, creatively giving and sowing back into this world and receiving, learning to receive at the highest level. So in addition to kindness, our next one we have is empathy. So we want to have empathy, and we want to start with ourselves, okay? And compassion is next. So I really believe that compassion is empathy turned inward, okay? We are empathetic for ourselves. We believe that we truly deserve all of the love, all the things, and not because we're selfish or taking, but just because we're worthy. And God made us in His image, and we deserve that beauty and that care that we so much give others. We deserve that as well. So I will group together empathy and compassion, and those of us that are empaths, I know it's like looking in a mirror, right? You have empathy because you can feel and put yourself easily in the position of another, that you want so much for their peace, love, and joy, and you can feel it when they're suffering, and that having that empathy and putting yourself in that place with them is just, it's really divine and pure love. So those are the keys to well-being so far. The next one we have is awe. Whew, what a beautiful one. To be able to look at nature, to be able to look at a newborn baby or a child, to be able to look at yourself in the mirror, to be able to look at beautiful landscapes, the sky, the ocean, the desert, the mountains, a book that just fascinates you, something delicious that you can't believe how good it is, and it just reminds me of my little brewed tea here. Just having awe, okay, at the highest level and in the little things, it's so important. I mean, I already feel well. I was just thinking about those things. I feel like I'm experiencing well-being, thinking about that beauty, allowing myself to experience what that means, what the taste, smell, feeling, the sound of music that we just get excited by, that we dance to. Like, this is all awe-inspiring things. And we so easily miss it by being distracted, having emotional distraction, having psychological distractions, or just not being in the present moment to be able to feel the awe. We may have awe happening to us, but we actually may not be experiencing joy from it. So I really hope that you are experiencing that joy with your children, the awe that comes from your own excitement, from the celebrations that you're having. And that leads us right into the next one, which is mindfulness. We have to be mindful, because if we're not present, we can allow all of this distraction and whatever's happening in our minds that's distracting us from being present. It'll steal, kill, and destroy our dreams and goals, the things that we really want, because we're so focused on what's happening to us instead of for us, and how is this in alignment? What am I learning from it? How is that helping me get where I'm going? It's just so easy to be focused on the negative, so I hope that we can be mindful. The next one is gratitude. Being grateful for the things that are happening, even when we are literally the most pissed off we can ever be. And I bet each of us can say in the last 7 to 10 days, there's been a time where your brain's been on fire and you've been like, what is happening? Like we said in this and other videos, there's a lot going on. Some of us believe in Mercury in retrograde. Some of us just know that there's a lot of challenging things going on, just energetically in the world, and that it's a time of massive change. And when massive change happens, there's a lot of resistance from everyone that doesn't want to change, that just wants to kind of stay the same. But you know what? That's the most painful thing, is staying the same, changing every time there's a win. Okay, it might not be immediately, and you might not be able to see it right away, but change is where the true beauty lies. So having gratitude that somebody did this or this happened or that happened, because you know what, it's not rejection, it's redirection. And having gratitude that that person did that, showed who they were, this happened, a job loss, a divorce, a family member passes away, even the things that all the things we don't have control over, just to be grateful that there was a time, that there's a transition, that there's an opportunity to be loved or to love again. Okay, I hope that you can find that gratitude. These are the keys to well-being, and I bless you with them. Then we have self-compassion, which we talked about with empathy and compassion. Self-compassion, emotional regulation, all those times where you think you have graduated from the College of Emotional Intelligence, and then someone does something purposefully to hurt you. Someone says something happens, or you're even just rushed, you're late, you're stressed, this and that's happening. That is the best time to regulate your emotions. That is the best time to use that practice to be grateful and say, this is happening to me for a reason. I'm learning from this experience. Broaden the world outside of ourselves. Look around and say, look how blessed I am. Who can I bless in this moment that I'm suffering? Because all of a sudden, when we start expanding ourselves outside of ourselves, we start seeing that the world is so much bigger than we are. And it's really, this problem that we're having is likely first world. And even though it's valid and we can have self-compassion and empathy for ourselves, regulating our emotions and getting past ourselves is really going to help us. And the last one, and probably the first one, right after being authentically you and being authentically ourselves, which I added, custom designed this list, is our purpose. What in the world are we doing here? I heard a question the other day, and I value this question. And those that stay to the end of the video get the gold. The question was, what was I born to do? What am I born to do before I die? I hope y'all are writing that one down. This is fresh, hot off the press. This is the best question yet. What was I born to do before I die? Throw up your flag, whatever you have to do. Write that down. Get your notes down in your journal. It's going to come across so much different. For those of us that journal all the time and write all the time, this is a really powerful message to yourself. What was I born to do before I die? And these are the keys to well-being. Knowing yourself, being authentic, connection, kindness, empathy, mindfulness, gratitude, self-compassion, emotional regulation, and purpose. I love you all. I wish you all the keys to well-being that they would fill your life. other things.